worked on a music video for HOLOLIVE's VTuber Ouro Kronii. Kinda. Let me explain. I was asked to participate in Wonderiku's project Kounter Klockwise. I specifically worked on the song Piece It Together with Aki Koito, Kounter Klockwise, Lightshard, and Noah Seleno. Here to tell you more about the project is the vocalist and lyricist Kounter Klockwise.
Yeah, so I'm Kounter Klockwise. I make original music that is, inspired by anime, whether it's a character or just the general themes, and that's been my career for the last 7 years of my life. So Kounter Klockwise, the project, is a fan EP that was orchestrated by Wonderiku for, I believe, Kronii's birthday that was coming up. I met Wonderiku at Vexpo in 2025, previously knowing them from their work with HoloCG, who is another artist in the nerdcore space. We met, we had like a brief conversation just going through the halls. We were like, oh, you Wonderiku? Yeah, you're Kounter Klockwise? Whoa, we know each other. I saw on their Twitter that they were doing this fan EP, and I'll be so real, I did not know an awful lot about Kronii at the time. I just saw that there was a group project happening, and I was like, I like Wonderiku, seems like a cool musician, I want to be involved in that. So I pitched myself forward, and I got thrown into a group, some other very, very talented musicians, and we, worked over the weeks, going back and forth on writing and melodies and story ideas, and I think we came up with a really cool concept for a song. I think the story is brilliant. I've never really quite worked on a concept song. Like, I've done concept albums before and sort of had this overarching idea, but to condense that all into a song was really difficult, but really, really fun at the same time, because it felt more like I was writing a story than I was writing a song. There's a level of restriction that I quite like in music. You only have a certain amount of time. When you're writing a book, you can have as many pages as you want. I only get 3 verses. There's no room for filler. I have to get everything that I want in this short space, and like, how do I do that? How do I use every bit of space most optimally? And I just find that process amazing. And yeah, then it all got put together by multitudes of different people with all the other songs on the EP. There's so many different styles, there's so many different voices and production elements. It's just really, really fun. Like, the whole thing is really, really fun.
My part in all of this was I was the artist in charge of the music video. Here is a quick look at the pitch I was given. I was tasked with drawing Kronii sitting at her desk as she pieces the mystery together. Here is what some of the early sketches look like. I originally tried to stay faithful to the reference images provided, before eventually experimenting with different angles and different compositions. Designing the office space was probably my favorite part. I eventually settled on these 2 designs. Similar to Vocaloid music videos, I pitched the idea to draw little chibis that pop up at different parts of the song. You can see that right here with little chibis of Kronii and Ame. The hardest part for me was drawing different expressions for Kronii. What I mean by this is during the chorus and verse of the songs, Kronii's expression in the background would change. It was my job to make sure all of these visuals stayed consistent. Overall, I was really proud of the illustrations I created. I feel like my colorful art style really matched the tone of the song. So in a way, I guess you could say I was the missing puzzle piece this project needed. So Kounter, originally you were just supposed to be the lyricist, correct?
Yeah, I took on a few more roles than I think I was originally intended for. I was originally just the lead writer. I ended up rapping because we did run out of time vocally for someone else to do the rapping. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just do it. That's what I do. I wrote a rap section. I can't really expect someone else to do it. So, I did the rap section. And then when it came to the vocals, again, there was limited time, so we only had 1 vocal track. I do multiple tracks normally on my songs anyway. So I was like, let me do a couple backing tracks. Let me just riff off the whole song, because like, I wrote it, I know how to sing it, and I was like, you can whack that in, you can stereo spread it, put some reverb on it, just have it in the background to kind of lighten everything, still giving the main vocal its presence, but just having that little bit extra backup can often really enhance stuff and really just help it. So yeah, I ended up with, more feature credits than I originally intended, but still, I was very happy to do that. I think it came out good.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this was your very first time working with so many different creators at the same time. What was that experience like?
I was definitely nervous to do that because it's not very often that I will work with people in quite such an intimate capacity. A lot of my production is either done through just typing to people on Discord, or it's just me in my bedroom on my own. So having like you know, writing hours and like discussion sessions where you're like talking to 2 or 3 people at a time, like going through ideas. Different process for me, but it was funny because Wonderiku had a gig, I think 2 days after we had the first initial meeting, and it turned out that one of the people who I had been put into that group with was also going to the same gig that I was going to see Wonderiku. So we ended up meeting in person like 2 days after we met. So that was just a fun coincidence, and you know, we able to connect a little bit more off of that, and yeah, found some, you know, common interest between us, just chatting, and you know.
In total, over 40 different artists participated in this project, and thousands of listeners have already checked out the album, including Ouro Kronii.
Oh, on a side note though, I saw that you guys made like a fan EP, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I listened to it and it was so good. Thank you.
How are you feeling now that the project is over?
No, I'm very happy that people have enjoyed it. I was very happy that, you know, the people I worked with enjoyed it the most. Honestly, I always appreciate it when anyone is honest with me about things, even fans. But obviously, when you're a fan of someone, you can sometimes look past flaws and just like focus on the things you like. But someone you've never met before and someone you've never worked with before, they're not going to do that to you. So I really do appreciate when people like that say, hey, this was done really well and this was a really good job. So yeah, I'm super happy that the reception was good on it, and everyone seemed to enjoy what we did.
For my first time working on a music video, I also had a lot of fun. So Kounter, why don't you tell everyone where they can listen to the EP?
I think if you just search Kounter Klockwise with 2 Ks in front, then it should come up. It's under various artists on Spotify, so I think if you search any of the artists, Wonderiku, Zephyrina, Starlight Daryl, you can search me as well, you'll probably find the EP, and it is track number 4, Piece It Together.
I will leave a link to the album as well as all of Kounter Quest's social media down below.
I don't know when this video will come out, but I'm currently on tour, which is very exciting. A lot of live shows, especially in the UK and Europe, and we're planning more of them after this tour, so be on the lookout for those as well.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about our process working on Kounter Klockwise. Make sure to leave this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out. You can also follow me on Twitter for more VTuber comics. You can also check out my VGen account or email me if you would like me to work on one of your projects. If you'd like to keep hanging out, check out this video next. I think you'll really like it. I'll see you over there.